Welcome back. In the previous two lectures, we have seen different control actions, their features, control modes, and their features for the PID controller. In this lecture, we will see different forms of, or we will discuss different forms of PID controller and effect of the PID control parameters on transient and steady state response. And finally, we will derive the expression and sketch the step and ramp response for different control actions and controller modes. In general, the PID controller can be represented in around 46 different forms as stated in the PID handbook of O'Dwyer, and also it is numerous forms are given in the PID controller handbook written by K.J. Ekstrom. However, the parallel form and its ISA structure are most effectively used. So let us discuss the parallel form and its ISA structure and let us compare the two. So in the parallel form of PID controller, the transfer function of parallel form of PID controller is GC of S is equal to Kp plus Ki by S plus KdS, and its ISA realization. ISA is a society, instrumentation society and automation, similar to what IEEE in the field of electrical and electronics and telecommunication. So in that those standards, it is represented as the ISA structure of parallel PID is GC of S is equal to Kc into bracket 1 plus 1 by TIS plus TDS, and this form we have discussed in the previous lecture. So comparing the two, we get the comparison is possible because both are parallel structures. So what we get, Kp is equal to Kc, Ki is equal to Kc by Ti, and Kd is equal to Kc/Td. In the lectures ahead of this, during the tuning and designing of the PID, we will use ISA structure and then we will find out the parameters and we will convert it into Kp Ki Kd form, or we will use Kp Ki Kd form and then after design we will convert it into the Kc Ti Td form as well. So these are the two structures. The next point of discussion is effect of controller parameters on transient and steady state performance. This is for the understanding their effect, and it is useful in selection of different control actions in the or controller modes. And the effects that we will discuss here will not be as exact as considered here, because there are a number of possible combinations, but still they will give us some guidelines. These effects can be tabulated as so this is nothing but effect of control actions oblique modes on performance specifications. So all these are performance specifications, whether they are transient performance specifications or steady state performance specifications. So what is the effect in the P control action if the controller gain Kp is increased, then the response becomes faster and rise time decreases. Peak time also decreases, but that increases the peak overshoot and hence the settling time. And if we increase the controller gain Kp, the position error constant Kp also increases, and because of that the steady state error, which is 1 upon 1 plus Kp, decreases. Now when we talk about the integral action, as we increase the integral action, the response becomes slower and rise time increases, peak time also increases, peak overshoot increases, and hence settling time also increases. But the important aspect of this is that it makes the steady state error 0. So this is the desired characteristic which is used further in PI and PID controller mode. Then let us consider the derivative action. Because of the derivative action, it gives initial fast action and that reduces the rise time, peak time. Also, because of addition of 1 0, it decreases the peak overshoot and hence the settling time. However, it has no effect on the steady state error. The steady state remains the same, steady state error remains the same even if we change the derivative gain. Now when we combine P and I, it becomes Pi, and increment here can be increment in P and I, and then the effects will change. However, here what we have considered is I action is included and P is increased. So increasing P will decrease rise time, will decrease peak time, but overshoot is increased because of inclusion of integral constant or integral action, as well as because of increment in the controller gain, and also because of that it increases the settling time, but because of inclusion of integral action it makes the steady state error 0. Now when we talk about the next action, that is PD controller, here also the discussion is that derivative action is included and proportional gain is increased. In that case, because of the inclusion of derivative action, the rise time decreases, and it is also because of increment in P. So the peak time is also decreased. The peak overshoot is decreased because of inclusion of D action. Though by increasing P, the peak overshoot increases, but comparatively it decreases because of inclusion of the derivative action. And because of decrement in the peak overshoot, the settling time is also decreasing, and the steady state error decreases because of increasing in P. Finally, the full mode, that is PID controller, here also both actions are included and P is increased. So it decreases rise time, it decreases peak time, it decreases overshoot, it decreases settling time, and it makes the steady state error 0. So it has all possible advantages. However, the limitation of this is that because of inclusion of D action, it may pass the high frequency signal, that is noise, and hence to avoid this, the I and D actions shall be, or their parameters shall be selected such that the PID controller acts as a band pass filter and the noise is not included, but still there is a possibility. So these are the different effects on the performance specification, and these can be important while selecting the appropriate action and their effects in the appropriate given application. The next part of this lecture is step and ramp response. Step and ramp response of control actions and controller modes. As these responses are in open loop, they don't have much relevance in the closed loop performance. However, we are considering it for having the better understanding of different control actions and controller modes. So let us begin with the P action. This P action is also a proportional controller. So for this we have the equation u of t is equal to Kc E of t, and in all cases we will not consider the initial value of the control signal because it will have just addition of the signal. Otherwise, if we consider only the effect of this, we neglect the initial conditions and then sketch the response. So for step input, step error E of t is equal to 1 for t greater than equal to 0, and it is equal to 0 for t less than 0. And for ramp input or ramp error, E of t is equal to t for t greater than equal to 0, it is equal to 0 for t less than 0. So we will consider these two inputs for all cases. So for proportional case, U of t will be Kc into 1 for t greater than equal to 0 and equal to 0 for t less than 0, and then it can be sketched as, if this is t and U of t, then the signal will be Kc. So this value is Kc. And similarly for ramp, U of t will be Kc into t for t greater than equal to 0, and it will be 0 for t less than 0. What we are doing, just we are replacing this E of t here, and hence the response will be Kc into t, so it will be like this, and with slope equal to Kc. This is U of t. So this was about the P action. Next is I action. For I action, the U of t is equal to 1 by ti integration 0 to t E of tau d tau. So for step input, U of t will be equal to 1 by ti integration 0 to t d tau, and that is equal to t by ti for t greater than equal to 0, and it will be 0 for t less than 0. And the same can be sketched as but here the slope will be 1 by ti. And in this case the slope was Kc. Now for ramp input, U of t will be 1 by ti integration 0 to t, this will be t, so tau d tau, which is equal to tau square by 2 ti or t square by 2 ti for t greater than 0 or equal to 0, and it is equal to 0 for t less than 0, and it can be sketched as let us sketch this. It's t square by 2 ti. So initially it will be 0 and it will be a square function, so it will be like this, t square by 2 ti. So this is about P and I. Now let us move to D action. So what we are doing is we are deriving their expressions and sketching the functions. So next is D action, derivative action. In derivative action, the control signal U of t is equal to Td d by dt of E of t. So for step input, u of t will be Td. Why Td? Because derivative of step is impulse. So it will be Td for t equal to 0, and then it will be 0 for t greater than equal to 0, and also it will be 0 for t less than 0, and that can be sketched as so it is just impulse. And for ramp input, u of t will be Td into derivative of ramp is t, 1, for t greater than equal to 0, and then it will be 0 for t less than 0, because ramp is t, its derivative is 1, so Td into 1 will be Td, and then it can be sketched as this is Td. Is done for D action. Next is PI controller. So for PI controller, u of t is equal to Kc E of t plus Kc by Ti integration 0 to t E of tau d tau. So for step input, u of t will be Kc into 1 will be Kc plus Kc by Ti into integration of 1 is t, and this will be for t greater than equal to 0, and it will be 0 for t less than 0, and then it can be sketched as so Kc is added when t is equal to 0, the output will be Kc, and then it will be with the slope 1 by Ti, or there will be a slope of ramp. The slope will be Kc by Ti. Similarly, for ramp input, u of t will be Kc into E of t, that is t, plus integration of t is t square by 2, so Kc t square by 2 Ti, and hence and this will be for t greater than equal to 0, and for t less than 0 it will be 0. So it can be sketched as it is similar to I action, but this term is added to it, so it will have the faster convergence towards infinity. It will move faster with faster rate towards infinity. Then next we will see the PD controller and PID controller. So for PD controller, u of t is equal to Kc E of t plus Kc Td d by dt of E of t. Now for step input, it will be u of t will be Kc into 1, that is Kc, plus it is a step, so its derivative is impulse, so it will be Kc plus Kctd for t equal to 0. Then later it will be Kc, because this Kctd is impulse, so this becomes 0. So it will remain to Kc for t greater than 0, and it will be 0 for t less than 0. And the same can be sketched as, you can work out on this the equations. So initially, if this is Kc, some Kctd is added to it. So initially it moves upwards and then it comes back and then at Kc. So this is the output for step response. Similarly, for ramp response, u of t will be Kc into ramp is t, so Kc plus t plus Kc Td into derivative of t is 1 for t greater than equal to 0, and it will be 0 for t less than 0. Just we are replacing this e of t with step here and ramp here, and the step and ramp are defined earlier in the same lecture. So it can be sketched as, when t is equal to 0, it will be Kctd, and thereafter the Kct term is added to it. So this will be Kctd, and this has a slope equal to Kc. And finally, the PID controller. For PID controller, the controller equation u of t is given by Kc e of t plus Kc by Ti integration 0 to t e of tau d tau plus Kc Td d by dt of e of t. And now let us consider for step input and then for ramp input. So for step input, this u of t will be equal to Kc into 1 is Kc plus Kc by Ti into integration of t is ramp, so Kc t by Ti plus derivative of step is impulse, so it will be Kc Td will be added only at t equal to 0, and then it will be removed as t is increased from 0, so for t greater than 0, and it will be equal to 0 for t less than 0, and then it can be sketched as, so initially it is Kc plus Kctd. So if here is Kc, let this be Kc plus Kctd. So initially it increases, then it comes back to Kc, and then this ramp is added to it with a slope Kc by Ti. So this increment is just at a time t equal to 0, and this shows that the derivative action has very early impact and later on it has no impact as time, or it impact reduces. The last one is for ramp input, PID controller for ramp input. So for ramp input, u of t will be Kc into e of t, so e of t is t, so Kc into t plus Kc into t square by 2 Ti, because integration of t is t square by 2 plus Kc Td, because derivative of t is 1, and this is for t greater than equal to 0, and equal to 0 for t less than 0, and then it can be sketched as initially when there is t equal to 0, this will be 0, this will be 0, so it will start with kctd, and then this square term and this ramp term is added, so it will be like a PI controller, like this, and it is done for all the control actions and controller modes, the step and ramp response. It was done only for the sake of considering different cases, and it shows that the I action produces ramp, which is a unbounded kind of output. The output becomes unbounded because as t increases to infinity, this also moves to infinity, and that is why it moves to saturation very quickly and has the reset wind up. That is the basic reason behind it. So to analyze this kind of things, we specifically or purposely sketch the step and ramp response for different controllers. It is enough in this lecture. From the next lecture, we will discuss the tuning and design of the PID controller. Thank you.